Welcome to the Bold Money Revolution podcast. This is your source for straight talking, no fluff, business and high performance conversations that add real depth and value to the way bold leaders live, work, and thrive. I'm your host, Tara Newman. I'm here to show you how to optimize your performance as a leader so that you can grow a business that is profit-rich, efficient, and allows you to generate real, tangible wealth for yourself and others. We are here to help you lead with your values, to perform without overwhelm and burnout, and to do your most important work in the world. Hey, bold leaders, it is Tara Newman, the host of this wonderful podcast, the Bold Money Revolution podcast. And today I'm answering some really riveting questions. Actually, one riveting question. It's going to be a short episode, but it's an important one. In today's episode, we're talking about the difference between revenue and income. And we're going to talk about how Profit First can help you with figuring out revenue and income. So, this is a common mistake that we make. Using the terms revenue and income interchangeably, they are not interchangeable. All right. Now I'm going to tell you what revenue is. I'm going to tell you what income is. And then I'm going to tell you to forget about income. And I'm going to want you to focus on something instead. So tune into the end for me to tell you what that thing is that I want you to think about instead. All right. Let's talk revenue. Revenue is all the money you bring into your business. Your total sales and any other money that you may receive as a part of doing business, which is why you sometimes hear revenue deferred to as gross sales, right? So sometimes we hear the term gross sales or revenue. Those are the same. It's all the monies coming into your business. It's the big number way on the top of your P&L, otherwise known as a profit and loss statement, which is a very useful map of your money, which we're going to talk about at a later date. I promise. Which is why you might hear revenue referred to as the top line. The top line. And I'm going to tell you right now, I don't give a crap about your top line. I really don't. Not a fiddly fart about your top line. I don't care. Don't care about revenue. It is, for the most part, a vanity metric. It's like a check-in. Like, we need to check to make sure we have the right amount, and then we're good, right? Now, sometimes you hear people talk about booked revenue or banked revenue. These are two other terms that people talk about and get confused. Booked revenue is how much money you have on the books from contracts that you have signed. Banked revenue is the cash received as in the bank right now. So if you have a 12-month contract with a client for $24,000, woohoo, and they are paying you $2,000 a month, and it is March. If the train leaves the station and is running out, I hated those things when I was a kid. Did you not? I feel like this is that. Anyway, 12-month contract, $24,000. I made this as easy as possible. Paying $2,000 a month, and it is March. They've made 3 payments, $2,000, $2,000, $2,000. That is $6,000 cash received. $24,000 minus $6,000 is $18,000 in booked revenue. Okay? Received versus what you are due. One more time, revenue is all the money that you have received. When someone says they have $1 million business, that means that they have received $1 million in their fiscal year, which usually runs between January and December, the calendar year. But some businesses like to be difficult and have fiscal years that span a different 12-month period. So like my husband's business has a fiscal year of October to September. Same 12 months. It is all the monies that you have made in the 12 months of your fiscal year. Now, when you're in the online space, of course, they have to be extra and they get a little different. And they're like, I have $1 million business. But really, they've made $1 million over 3 years. That is different, in my opinion. That is not technically $1 million business. So always ask questions, be critical in your thinking of what someone is telling you. All right. A client recently asked me, what is the difference between revenue and income? Now, I typically see the term income in more traditional business spaces, more big business spaces, and it essentially means your earnings or your profit. For our purposes as small business owners, I want to keep the terms to revenue and profit for simplicity, which is why I'm a huge profit first stan, like the kids say, profit first stan. Right? It gives small business owners a simple framework for money, and it gives a simple common language for you to communicate with your accountant, but also your partner or your spouse. So I want to keep us to profit first terms. Income and profit are similar. Income or net income is a company's total earnings or profit. When investors and analysts speak of a company's income, they're referring to the net income or the profit in the company. This is usually then where we start getting into talk about EBITDA, earnings before interest, depreciation, taxes, amortization, earnings, B before, I want to get this right, interest, depreciation, taxes, and amortization. That's what I said. And most of you in service-based businesses don't have those things. So we don't need to get complicated. We don't have things like amortization or depreciation. You don't have machines. You don't have a lot of assets, right? So let's not worry about income. Revenue, all the monies your business makes. Profit, the thing you get to keep. Tune into the next episode where we're actually going to talk about the difference between your owner's pay and profit. These are the terms you need to know, not all that other complicated gobbledygook. If you found this podcast valuable, help us develop more bold leaders in the world by sharing this episode with your friends, colleagues, and other bold leaders. Also, if you haven't done so already, please leave a review. I consider reviews like podcast currency, and it's the one thing you can do to help us out here at the Bold Leadership Revolution HQ. We would be so grateful for it. Special thanks goes to Stacey Harris from Uncommonly More, who is the producer and editor of this podcast. Go check them out for all your digital marketing and content creation needs. Be sure to tune into the next episode to help you embrace your ambition and leave the grind behind.